Hello everyone. Hope you all are doing very well. Myself Mumita, I am a teacher by profession and this is my very first video on YouTube. We all know that due to this COVID pandemic, we all have been affected in many ways, and especially the students who are unable to attend their schools, their tuition classes. So keeping this in mind, I have taken an initiative to provide online classes of biology for them, and I hope this will help them in their learning process. And I welcome you all to Biology Made Easy classes. Today's topic is for I.C.S.E. Class 8 student. The topic is transport of food and minerals in plants. I have divided the topic into many subtopics that I am going to discuss for today. The subtopics are transportation in plants, different ways of transportation in plants, diffusion, osmosis, semi-permeable membrane, root pressure, and last but not the least, active transport. Transportation in plants. Transportation is the process by which plants intake water and all other necessary nutrients from the soil, and then they are circulated from the root to the different parts of the plant. Not only that, it also include movement of prepared food from the leaves to all other different component parts of the plant. You know, transportation is one of the significant and vital process for the survival of the plant. Without the proper transportation process, plant cannot utilize its nutrient for its growth, and they will not be able to carry out their life processes, right? Next, we will be discussing about different ways of transportation in plants. They are mainly diffusion, osmosis, and active transport. I will be discussing all of them individually. First is diffusion. Diffusion is a transportation process which involves passive movement of molecule from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration. Passive movement means when there is no application of force, right? It is happening naturally from its region of higher concentration to its region of lower concentration. Like in this diagram we can see concentration of molecules over here is much more. What do you mean by concentration? It means the number of molecules present per unit area over here is much more in comparison to this area, and the molecules are moving from its region of higher concentration to its region of lower concentration, right? In case of plant, mainly gaseous molecules are exchanged by this diffusion process. Uh, we know that photosynthesis is one of the important process for plant, and for it carbon dioxide is must. Carbon dioxide gas is taken by the plant from the atmosphere by the process of diffusion, right? Next, we are going to discuss about osmosis. Osmosis is the process of movement of only water molecules from its region of higher concentration to its region of lower concentration across a semi-permeable membranes. In case of plant, we can see this osmosis process when they are absorbing water molecule from the soil with the help of their root. These root hairs are extending. In this diagram we can see that the root hairs are extending and they are surrounded by this brown colored soil particles and the sky blue color water molecules, and this arrow shows that water molecules are entering inside the root, right? And the root hair cells are actually behaving as a semi-permeable membrane. So in this osmosis process we say that the semi-permeable membrane has a very important role. It only allows certain molecules, or it only allows water molecules to enter, right? Now a question will be arising in your mind that What is a semi-permeable membrane? Let us define this semi-permeable membrane. It is a membrane which allows only certain size or diameter of molecules or ions to pass through it. The semi-permeable membrane can be both a biological membrane or an artificial membrane, right? Examples of biological semi-permeable membrane is a cell membrane, obviously. An artificial semi-permeable membrane examples are parchment paper, cellophane paper, etc. In this diagram, the process of osmosis has been shown beautifully. In the A vessel, you can see that the water is separated with the help of this dotted line, which is acting as a semi-permeable membrane from the salt solution, and the movement of water is taking place across these water molecules are taking place across this semi-permeable membrane towards the region of lower concentration of water molecules, and the osmosis is taking place. Here we can say this salt molecules are present and the concentration of water molecules are much less over here. That is why movement of water is taking place from its region of higher concentration to its region of lower concentration. And in this B diagram we see that the osmosis process has taken place and the concentration of molecules of water has reached equal on both the side of the membrane after the process has been completed, right? So remember one thing, that in osmosis water molecule always move from its higher concentration region to its lower concentration region. Why it is said to be lower concentration region? Because here the concentration of solute is much more in comparison to the water molecule or the solvent molecule, right? That is why water is moving from here where the molecules of water is very much, and that is why water is moving from its higher concentration region to its lower concentration region, and it happens till the concentration of water molecule or the solvent molecule become equal, concentration of water molecule become equal on both the sides of the membrane, right? Next we will be discussing about root pressure. The process of osmosis leads to the development of a pressure inside the root cell, which is known as root pressure. The osmosis leads to the inflow of water molecule inside the root cells, and as a result of which the water, whenever the water is entering inside the root hair cells or the root cells, they are swelling up or they are enlarging in size, and this creates or exert a force on the cell membrane, and which results in the upward movement of water molecule. So we can say that root pressure or the process of osmosis is directly helping in the upward movement or conduction of water molecule towards the upper parts of the plant. Next subtopic is active transport. Active transport is a transportation process in which molecules are moving from its lower concentration region to its higher concentration region, and to achieve this process the cell is utilizing its own energy, which is ATP, right? In this diagram we can see that the concentration of molecule is much less outside of the cell, and the concentration of molecule is much more inside of the cell. Still the movement of molecule is taking place from its lower concentration region to its higher concentration region, and the cell is actually using its own energy to achieve this process. And let us study this diagram over here, that the here we can say that movement is happening against the concentration gradient. Why it is said to be a concentration gradient? What is a concentration gradient? Concentration gradient is basically uh, mm, develops due to the unequal distribution of molecules or ions on both the side of a membrane, and whenever the thing is happening or the movement is happening across the membrane against the concentration gradient using the cell own energy, then it is said to be the process of active transport is taking place. Mainly mineral ions are absorbed or taken inside the cell by this process of active transport. When the concentration of mineral ion is usually lower in the soil than in the root cell, still the root cells are trying to achieve more of the minerals ion from the soil, then it has to utilize its own energy, that is ATP, and then it is said to be doing active transport to get those mineral ions inside the cell. Thank you for watching my video. If you have any queries or doubt, please put it in the comment section, and along with it also put your email ID. I will get back to you soon. And if you find this video useful, please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Till then, take care. Goodbye.